Then let's go a step further, driving the social and the community impact through ethics. Ethical choices don't just protect agents, they will also open doors for everybody in your community. There are several concrete ways of making a positive difference in the way that you work. And I thought it would be nice for us to go over a few of them to maybe make you just a better steward for your community. First, champion inclusive marketing. You need to make sure that when you're writing listing descriptions, don't use jargon, don't use coded phrases or commonality in the language that you're using. You need to include really clear statements like all qualified buyers welcome. Offer translated marketing materials or even bilingual visitor tours in areas that have diverse populations. It's going to help you increase increase the amount of diverse cultures that want to move into the area because they feel welcome and they feel like the real estate agents in the area care about their society building and their society value to your local community. There are lots of real estate flyer examples out there. I suggest you look at some of them that especially that are focused towards Hispanic cultures. These are probably the most prevalent in the state of Florida, and they do an excellent job of making sure that everybody understands their community language and the community culture that they're building. It's fantastic. Take a look at them. Try to incorporate that into the traditional American lingo version that you're doing. It'll help you go a long way in improving how you're marketing to multiple cultures. Um, Host a hands-on home buying workshop. If you can partner with a local nonprofit or a library to run a monthly session where first-time home buyers can learn about budgeting, inspections, down payment assistant programs, a lot of these new programs that pop in and out in your state throughout the year. Follow up with some simple checklists, some FAQ sheets, these things that'll help attendees download it, keep it regular and at their disposal. This will help guide all types of first time homebuyer experiences and will give you some nice word of mouth in the community too that you're going beyond just the Zillow lead that dropped into your lap. Secure client data like it's top secret materials. Use your password protected folders. You need a locked CRM field for personal info. You need to limit access to that data to only staff that works in the office and those that need it. From the military perspective, it was a need to know functionality. If you didn't need to have access or need to know about the information that was in that folder, you did not get access to it, and there was no reason for you to have access to it. You need to delete outdated leads every 6 months, no more than a year. So that way you can reduce the risk of accidental leak or accidental exposure of people's information. And you need to choose one of the recommended real estate CRMs that we've talked about in some of our other classes. This will help go a long way to keep things in a more secure option and in a portal statistic. So if you're doing just a whole bunch of PDFs that have personal information, you're just slinging it through freelance Gmail, for example, and it can easily be exposed to others, you're making a mistake. You should be doing portal links that allow secure access, and only the people you have emailed have access to the information. That way, the onus of that privacy is on them and not on you as the agent. And finally, with that, you need to invest in your neighborhood's future. Promoting community land trusts, shared equity models, when appropriate, highlighting local grants for energy upgrades, accessibility improvements on your marketing materials. All of these things will go a long way for you. Even include a short paragraph in your real estate newsletter. Anything that gains awareness, shows you are not just knowledgeable about real estate, but knowledgeable about advantages that clients and potential clients can take simply by reading your materials, I think will go a long way. I get because as a broker and running our firm, we get a lot of questions about ethical. So, Alex, what's this mean? How can I say this with stay answering my clients' questions and still stay on the positive side of ethics? So I get a lot of those types of questions. The biggest one probably that I get is is the code of ethics legally binding? Again, I am not a lawyer. I do not represent myself as a lawyer. We do a lot of legal studies, but beyond that, if you would like to challenge my opinion of these things, please talk to an attorney. But is the code of ethics legally binding? Not in the same way that a law is legally binding, but realtors who belong to the NAR agree to follow it as a condition of membership. So it is a rule that must be followed to keep that realtor status. Breaking that code won't land you in jail necessarily, but it can certainly lead to disciplinary actions, fines, and even losing your realtor status and your license entirely. So is it legally binding? No. Are they rules that you should be following that'll keep you on the right side of the law? Absolutely. They will help you. They will help you maintain not only efficiency, but a nice transparency and a level of truth and consistency with your clients. How often do these ethical trainings need to happen? Every 3 years. The NAR requires all realtors to complete a code of ethics course that meets specific learning objectives during each cycle. Your local boards will probably have you do that more often. Pretty sure here in Florida, you have to take an ethical compliancy training every 2 years. So that certainly fits well within that 3 year requirement for the NAR. And then I get a lot of I get a lot of questions about Article 5 in the Code of Ethics. Article 5 is all about transparency. Ultimately, it says realtors shouldn't buy or sell properties for themselves, their companies, or their families without telling everyone involved that they are making a purchase on their own personal interest. Clients deserve to know when they are negotiating with someone who is not just an agent, but they are also a buyer. So there is an additional passion play where the realtor is taking their skills to a level of personal negotiation for personal gain. Um, I agree with this. I think you need to be able to expose it. Hey, I'm a real estate agent. I am also buying this for myself. So if you would like to make sure that you get some additional support for yourself, I get it. I wouldn't want you coming into the boxing ring with a professional, knowing that I'm going to beat the tar out of you if you don't know how to negotiate for yourself. Again, keeping everything ethically compliant. I believe in Article 5 for this and the transparency for those codes. I believe that you should take it one step further. If you are representing like your son, your daughter, immediate family, I personally believe you should expose that too. So, Realtor Code of Ethics. Ultimately, this is your real world guide to how you should show up and how you should conduct your business with integrity, transparency, and with the care for the people that you serve in your community. You are not always going to have the answers, much less the perfect answer. But when something feels off, it probably is, and it's worth double checking yourself against the code itself. If you have questions about the code of ethics, don't just ask other real estate agents. At minimum, consult the guide, consult your broker, and make absolutely sure that you're getting secure and transparent answers for your understanding, and trust your gut. If it feels shady, it feels like it's something you probably shouldn't be saying, don't say it. Don't put yourself in that position. Uh, Ethical practices in real estate have certainly come into question in the last few years. There have been multiple multi-million dollar lawsuits won and lost over these types of ethical guidelines. Make sure you are consistently above bar. Re-educate yourself often and make sure it's through a valid source and not just through a Google search. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you to have a great weekend, do good business, and here comes the holiday swing. So you should be now cleaning things up, preparing yourself for the end of the year, making sure things are stood up for the holiday season, because come the end of that, we are right back to another peak season at the beginning of 2026. Looking forward to working and competing against each and every one of you out there. Have a great day.